know us, always trying out new things. Want to see what works. But as usual, we are very, very happy to be here. And I'm happy to have you, everybody that's tuning in. I'd like to give a big shout out to you. I want to give you a big pat on your back because I know it's sometimes hard to be consistent and hard to do anything, out of the ordinary regularly. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to sit down and listen to me. Whatever time that you do that, is appreciated. But the people who manage to catch me live have a very, very special place in my heart. So I want to say thank you to you guys. Okay, so really just to jump right into it, election madness. Have to talk about it. First of all, I have to say that the Democrats overplayed their hand, and they did not. I don't feel like they took into consideration how tired we are of them playing in our face. Pretty much. Good evening to you, Ebby, and how are you? Love you. I love you. Yeah, I don't think they I don't think they understood. I think they let their rhetoric get to them. They started to believe the hype and uh, got themselves in trouble. First of all, a lot of people were very unhappy about the idea of Kamala just piggybacking her way into the election without any real stance, any real platform, and having done such a terrible job on the border, which was one of her many jobs. Um, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. It was America signaling in a lot of ways its desire to return to more traditional, conservative, old fashioned values. Take it as you like. A lot of people complain about Trump um, and his methods and his way of doing things. But sometimes I really honestly feel like you can't be nice to everybody all the time. And he's a very good example of that. Um, Seemingly immediately, he jumped right out there, just letting us know it's going to be more of actually an accelerated version of the last administration. He wasted no time getting out there and pledging his himself to the causes of deporting a lot of the illegal immigrants that had been letting in during the last administration, which was a sticking point for a lot of people. The Democrats were very surprised to find that a lot of the Latino voters actually voted for Trump. Um, I think they were very upset about the idea that they had to come in and work hard and scratch and save and make it, against all the odds, without all the help, without all the extras, and that they did it the right way. And yet they didn't receive 1/8, 1/16, 1/50th of the help that the migrants received. So it was a lot of surprises for the Democrats. Um, we well we the Democrats lost everything. They lost the House. They lost the Senate. They lost their shirts. Okay, they lost everything. So um, what this next 4 years is gonna look like is speculative at best for a lot of people. But there are actually a very great many people who are happy, who are very optimistic that Trump will come in and fix all their problems. And I'm not sure about anybody's ability to fix all of somebody's problems. Um, and I'm gonna take a sit back and watch and see kind of an attitude about the whole thing, pretty much. Um, Okay, yeah, the A train is going to be out from January until May. So please, from Howard Beach, JFK, all the way to Mott Avenue and all connecting points in between, will be inaccessible by the A train. So they will have shuttle service, um, but please make arrangements. You know, leave out a little earlier, add some time to your commute because it's going to be a hot mess out there for those who have to commute into Far Rockaway. And it's wintertime, so everything just slows down, as you know, out there in the wintertime. Um, there are other buses. I've been constantly told that 50, 56, 52 is a great alternative. Um, so you know, they y'all won't be stranded out there for my listeners, but it is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to get out to Far Rockaway, at least until May. So the subway system is turning 120 this year, um, and the A train is the longest route on in the subway system. In the out of all of the service lines, the A train, excuse me, you guys, the A train is the longest, and has about a good 600,000 riders that are going to be affected by the Far Rockaway. Mm. Okay, so let's see. We've been having a number of recalls and um, just issues with food, listeria outbreaks, salmonella, E. coli outbreaks. Um, the usual gluten issues, which gluten is a glue-like product that they add to certain breads and starches to basically, hold it together, to glue it together, to bind some of the chemicals that they use to the other things that they use in the recipe. So yeah, and a lot of people are having adverse effects to them, and it can cause anything from skin irritation, stomach irritation, to, for some people, anaphylactic shock. So it's a very big thing and becoming more and more prevalent as they continue to include more and more chemicals in our food. So, you know, uh, I find that when you cook at home more than when eating out random sources, you kind of limit the exposure to such things. But um, if unless you're making absolutely everything from scratch, grinding your own flour and all kinds of stuff, um, it's hard to escape all of the chemicals. So Evie says, "Who you telling, man? I'm upset about this service or lack thereof with the A train already." Yeah, the A train has been going through its uh just chaos. The A train is the J train. Seems like Queens is having it bad with the with the transportation. Queens has never been great with transportations anyway, being that Queens is one of those two fairs of, excuse me, that people don't seem to think exists in the world. But yeah, they've been having a really hard time with transportation in general. So my heart goes out to you guys. It goes out to you guys out there, really. Um, okay, so I think I'm gonna take a minute to, because we might, we have some extra videos this week, right? Yeah, so I want to take a little time out right about now to go into my video selections. So I definitely Hope you like it. Yes, I like to play the same ones. I want to get those songs stuck in you guys' heads. Um, I love my artists. I like the music that they're putting out. So I definitely want to constantly and regularly and always and ad nauseum support them. So yes, I want to take that time out right about now, and then we'll be back in a few minutes with more stuff. Uh-oh. You know, you know, it never fails. But stuff happens. It happens sometimes. We are having some technical difficulties with the audio. Hope you guys are hearing me well enough. Um, we'll maybe try again with a different set of videos a little later on. Once my engineer in there can figure out what's going on. So yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I thought I was gonna have a little break. Literally let my hair down. They're like, we can't hear the music. I go, damn. Okay, so we're back. a little, a little impromptu backness, but we're here. All right, let me work this out. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I guess it's more time for me to talk to you guys. Hi, Tyra Vocals by Jamel Jones. How are you today? I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. I had a couple people write in that they couldn't hear the music, so that's a big problem. We definitely have to work that out. Yeah. I don't know if my glasses are crooked or my face is crooked because because every pair of glasses I ever get winds up crooked. So I'm like, maybe it's actually my face that's crooked and my glasses just trying to adapt or something. I don't know. Anyway, trying to see right without the glare from the lights reflecting like they like to do. Okay. Anyway, gotta see though. That's important. Very important. So yeah, once again, I am Lola, and this is the Lola SHAE Show, and you are tuned into IAXISRADIO.com, the future of podcasts and radio. There is actually no limit to the stuff that we can do over here. So yeah, we trying to do big things. We got a lot of new things coming, a lot of old things coming back, and progress. So always appreciate when any of you guys tune in to any of the shows on our platform, which there are many. So hit that like button and subscribe button so you can be notified of all of the new shows coming up as they are ready to be aired and you don't miss anything. So now, did you know that there are thousands of empty apartments in New York? Like, in spite of the housing crunch and the need for housing, and how, we got all of the homeless issues and all of the thousands of people in the shelter system, not limited to, and not the migrant situation, not including that. Just American citizens, regular people, who for whatever reasons are down on their luck and need a little bit of help. There, it was even prior to the migrant situation, a overcrowding in the shelter system, lack of beds, a restructuring of the time period that it takes for you to come in and get the help that you need, the amount of times that you're able to go through, all kinds of things have been changed and moved around prior to the migrant situation. Now, so the issue is, the issue for what I consider to be, it's only an issue for slumlords. I feel like this is the home of my opinions, so it is what it is. I feel like that this is really only an issue for slumlords, but there are thousands of apartments that are sitting empty in New York City, mainly because they're located within rent stabilized apartment buildings, right? So usually the really not limited to them, only them, but usually the large multi-apartment buildings the older ones that you see, um, they tend to have a lot of empty units inside. And the reasoning for that, if you ask the landlords, their excuse is that um, they're not able to raise the rent on the apartment to an amount that would allow them to recoup the cost that it would cost them to renovate the apartment. So they say, my glasses be crooked too, Tara. It says it's annoying. It is annoying because it makes me self-conscious. Like, I mean, I can still see, but I know people are looking like, the hell's wrong with your face? Anyway, so yeah. And then I'm just hyper aware about it. I don't overly care, but at the same time I am hyper aware of it. So and it's like that with all my damn glasses. It never fails. Like even the hard plastic ones, they'll just wind up got to the side somehow. Yeah, definitely the pre-war buildings. Now my issue with them is they wouldn't have 30, 40, 50, 60,000 dollars worth of repairs necessary had they been properly maintaining these properties over the years. Okay, so you go into these buildings, they all have old plaster, they have old appliances, old plumbing, old piping, old roofs, old boilers. Everything is old. Everything is dilapidated, falling apart. That is nobody's fault but the landlord's. Okay, because he wants to pocket the rents instead of using the rents to revitalize the building. And they want to act like we don't know that capital increases, they pass those off to the tenants anyway. Okay, so it's not like they are footing 100% of the bills for the renovations in the apartment building. And then on top of that, you have the low interest rehab loans that they're eligible for, that they can also be using to mitigate some of the costs. Okay, grants are available to certain landlords. There are loopholes and ways to, bring yourself back from that. But again, my argument is you would not be there had you not been a slumlord and said, well, that's those, because if you notice the location of most of these buildings, they tend to exist in the poorer communities, in the lower income areas, in the not necessarily as affluent and definitely not as active politically, the people in these particular areas. So they suffer. They suffer with the subpar amenities or no amenities at all. They suffer in that 5-story walk up. They're suffering. Okay, with the black mold and the rat holes and the chipping paint, lead everywhere. It's insane. It really is insane. And their excuse is that they're not going to make the money back. We don't care. We actually don't care if you make the money back, because you would have been making your money. You would have been able to be at market value if they didn't have to stop you from raising the rent unnecessarily with no compensation. Like, there's no increase in amenities. You didn't add a storage unit. You didn't add parking. You didn't add rooftop access. You didn't add anything, but you're consistently going up on the rent. Okay, so at some point that became an issue, which is why they instituted the rent stabilization in the first place, so people can be secure in knowing that they're not gonna be priced out of their apartments. Now, it's not everybody. So your desire and your covetousness comes from you looking at fair market value apartments that's running for $2,500, $2,600, $2,700 a month, $3,000 a month, and you like, oh, I could be getting that. That's the devil. Anyway, next. That's the damn devil. Anyway, yes, I'm aware that businesses are here to make money. And nobody said that they're not making money, but they want all the money and they don't want to do any of the work. And then they want to cry and make it seem like, they want to say that it's not it's not financially feasible. Well, that's again, that's your fault. Trashy apartments at its best, Tara? Yes, absolutely. I can't even. You can't even call them trashy. And then they proudly show these apartments like they doing. So they slap some paint on there. Um, maybe put another layer of tile on the floor, and put that metallic paint on the radiator, and they feel like they did something, and they want to try to. And then, but they're mad because they can't then turn around and raise the rent. You should not. No, you should not. There should be some kind of penalization for you allowing your property to get into such a state of disrepair in the first place. And you want to have tenants. Now, if you live in there, you can let it get as dilapidated as you like. But the idea that you have tenants, that people are paying you for the use of your space, means that these use should at the very least be able to sustain the tenants, be able to accommodate them properly. Okay? And then you got these new ones. They're taking down the used to be large, like the railroad apartments, and they're breaking them down into smaller studio apartments and one bedrooms and no bedrooms and no living rooms and all kinds of weird configurations. Janelle says she's seen some and it's literally unbelievable. Child. The if you're searching, it's so very, very frustrating to find something that is suitable for you, comfortable. New York already had a space issue. That was always a running joke for people in New York, was that the apartments was closet size for astronomical amounts of money. But that used to be mainly limited to the city. But now that is coming out here to the well, technically the suburbs of the city. The sub city, because we're not in the suburbs technically till you get to Long Island and Westchester, but Queens is a suburb of Manhattan. So, argue with your mama. Wasn't my idea. Okay, so want to give a quick shout out to my supporters, my sponsors, the people who, without whom this show would not happen. I want to say you know who you are, but recognition is always appreciated. So I want to shout out Crooklyn Cannabis Company. I want to shout out Music Buff Radio. I want to shout out IAXISRADIO.com. Al Williams, African Art and Books, East New York Community Oasis, and of course Lola Shea Botanicals. Of course. Anyway, so pretty much okay, so I've been thinking about they tried to scare people with the Agenda 2025 thing, which is an issue of basically dictatorship, in a nutshell. The idea that upon electing the next conservative president, that he would assume all control and powers, negating Congress, negating any sort of system of checks and balances, and making him or her, but making them the like empirical leader of America. Americans claim they don't want a dictator, but they like dictator stuff and they respect dictators. So it's a hard, it was a little. I was concerned for a little while, but when I realized that the level of organization that specific plan has, I don't think with the ego level that a lot of people have, that's not really a worry. There's no Everybody wants to be noticed. They wanna have their 2 cents acknowledged. They wanna be their name on the program. They want the egos are too big for them give um to turn over the reins to somebody in that way. I don't think they're gonna would prevent any real progress on that level from going forward. But then there's always the idea that that it's basically 2 sides of the same coin, and they're doing like a whole bait and switch on us. So I mean, the plan is to always keep your mind and open and be uh, mindful. That was the new word this fall. Uh, yeah, be mindful. So I want to shout out the logo is the brand. My boy Dio, always working, always out there. Gots to respect the hustlers. Mhm. It's juice. Don't worry about it. Be like, what's in the cup? It's always juice. Even when there's something else in there, it's mostly juice. Trust me when I tell you. Okay, so I didn't want to do the Diddy thing, but it has like taken over my timeline, my news feed, my day, and it keeps mutating and growing and spurring off side spin-off shows and episodes. The insanity just keeps growing and growing and growing. So you have okay. So you have the tentacles reaching into all of the other it has Hollywood in a chokehold basically. Everybody from Ellen to Oprah to Ashton Kutcher to just people you never be like who ah they're bringing it's all coming back. It's like all of the stuff that you thought was done in the dark is now coming to the light. Who used to say that? It sounds like some shit my grandma used to say, right? Yeah, them grand people have a tendency of being real right, don't they? But yeah, a lot of I think the next argument is gonna be yeah, but see, okay, politics, Diddy's brush fires. Okay, so I feel like it's a brush fire. I feel like it's a distraction. But what concerns me is a distraction from what? Like, what could be so big, right, at this point, that they're willing to just out everybody and crash the whole damn ship? Because that's ultimately it's not gonna nothing is gonna be the same as far as the entertainment industry, whether it's music or movies. None of it is gonna be the same after this. I don't think. Now I don't feel like um there will be people who will be left unscathed and unbothered and unmolested, pun intended. Um but the trust is gone. The you know, the I'm gonna come to you, and I'm gonna put my talent in your hands, and hope that you have my best interest in heart, and we're gonna make a lot of money together, and beautiful music together, or beautiful art, films, theater, whatever it is, together, and live happily ever after. I think that's shattered. I think sending your wide-eyed child off, shattered. I think uh, like almost all of the secrets are out, but it's freeing um, for the artists at the same time, because all of the shackles, all of the hoops, all of the extra that had nothing to do with pure talent and determination, all of those things have been um, exposed to be the distractions and the unnecessary crap that they are, pretty much. I think so, anyway. So I'm once again, I'm always just watching and looking and waiting and hoping. Just want to see how it's gonna work out, and what comes of all of it. But they denied him for the fourth time bail. They don't want him out. Not only does he have possible fleeing to non-extradition countries, excuse me, a la Russell Simmons. He also is a witness tamperer, a intimidator, a bully, a blow up people car. He's a violent offender. He's a menace to freaking society, and they're not gonna let him out. Um, they're saying that he's gonna seek a pardon from Trump, possibly because he might have some blackmail material on Trump. I I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna keep gonna keep my eyes open for that one. Honestly, how that plays out. Um, for me, it's like a big soap opera. So I just remind myself to Oh, he's not going. We're talking. Okay, we're talking. They done took his mother to court now. They got her involved. We're talking racketeering. We're talking RICO. We're talking organized crime. We're talking trafficking. We're talking all of the things that keep you in federal prison for multiple life sentences at this point. They say that they found bodies in the tunnels under his house. The tunnel's been there. He didn't build the tunnel, so don't start that one. But he definitely had a house that he picked, knowing that it had a tunnel. Well, he just might have some info on Orange. Yeah, that's what my research is leaning into. Because remember, he has been at this for almost 30 years. This is not like just the last couple of years that this has been going on. Okay. And he used all of the big profile party, all of the the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, the MTV Awards, Video Music Awards, where there's already going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of people, a lot of things going on. He used those as the draw for a lot of these parties. A lot of people went to these parties. Not everybody participated in the fuckery. Okay? Because like I said, myself personally, I went to parties, and when they started playing Luke music, that's pretty much the cue to get your ass off the dance floor. And they say that his parties were a lot like that. Like, there was times in the party when it was like, okay, regular people go home. Okay, because freaky shit is about to begin. People start losing their clothes. The lights change, maybe dim, get darker, whatever. I don't know. They might come up briefly. There was one where they made an actual speech that the kids had like an hour before they had to go, and then the adult activities was going to get started. So it wasn't like they were just bacchanalian debauchery through the whole damn party, the entire time. From most accounts, it was a regular party. Everybody's enjoying themselves, and then as the later hours start approaching, and the party revelers start naturally going home, starts getting late. That's when the other little parties in the other rooms used to start up. And then you always have the people who break off from the party while the party's still in full swing, and they go off to do their own thing. That happens at every single party ever. You understand? So that's not the issue here. The issue is the occurrences after the fact, And then there's some question of some of the party favors that they were using may or may not have been minors, like actual minors for party favors. An example of what I'm talking about would be when they use the ladies for the body shots. So you're supposed to. Sorry, I can't stop my face from doing that. Okay, but you're supposed to do shots off the body of the person that's laid there with all of the stuff, the lemons. Oh freaking! No. I'm not doing it. So allegedly, because there's no way. It just doesn't seem very sanitary to me. But yeah, so they would have, or you have the ladies swinging on the swing, or somebody dancing in a cage. Those are like extras, but those are still people. Those are people. So they would have people doing all manner of things, like, and then they would have, like, okay, if you don't know, Thailand is the sex tourism capital of the world, right? And in some cases, in certain hotels in Thailand, you can go and order what kind of sex worker you want. And they'll be waiting for you in your room when you get there. And that is not age restrictive. So you can conceivably go and order whatever you want. And they'll have it waiting in your room for you when you get there. And it's all perfectly legal. Thailand is also the capital of ladyboys, what we would call transvestites and transsexuals here. They call ladyboys over there. And they've been doing it so long, they way past that you can't tell the difference. Oh, way past that. Okay. I don't think they can tell the difference. Oh, sorry. Okay. I don't know, just trying to maneuver through this new landscape of world that we have to live in is, to some, can be terrifying. The amount of social anxieties, agoraphobics, and people who just generally have withdrawn from society has gone up astronomically. Yep. So if you feel like you can't deal, and if it's just too much, you are not alone. Okay? You are absolutely not alone in that thought process. So we are hopefully here. Well, I'm here to hopefully help you navigate as best as possible, and to definitely let you know that there are still like-minded people out there who are just as annoyed as you are. Okay? So, I mean, looking around, and it seems like everybody is down with the crazy. Know that some of us are still down with the king, okay? Just know that. Please, it'll make you feel a little better. I hope. I definitely hope to make you feel a little better. Okay. So, all right. Real quick recap. Maybe we can try it. Can you think maybe we could try the videos again? Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it. See what it works out. But real quick recap. The election results shocked the shit out of the Democrats. They thought they was gonna get Kamala in there to piggy bank off the creepy Joe Biden, and he's always been creepy Joe to me, touching on people, kids, smelling their hair and shit, kissing people, wives, inappropriate. He's like the damn, what's that dude from Richard Dawson. He's like the Richard Dawson of presidents, Joe Biden, I swear. And he was definitely pretending that he wasn't senile when he most definitely was. So yeah, they thought that they was gonna pull a fast one. I was kind of rooting for Hakeem Jeffries. Sorry, but not only did we not get the Senate majority, we lost the majority. We lost that. Yeah, Richard Dawson from the original Family Feud. He's had a bad habit of kissing on people's wives, whether they liked it or not. A lot of times he got into fights with people's husbands on air while the show was going on for touching on people's wives and kissing on their wives and shit. So every time I think about Joe Biden, that's who I think about, because there is entirely too much footage of Joe Biden inappropriately touching on somebody's wife, somebody's child, somebody's something. Okay? And this was when he was still, he was a senator. They had footage of him being inappropriate. When he was vice president, they had footage of him being inappropriate. And then they let him be president. I was like, how? How in the hell? Child. My faith is losing. And my faith in humans anyway. So yeah. What's in your food? God only knows. So cook at home, not so much outside. I know this is not going to work for the capitalisms, consumerisms, but your health will thank you. Your health will absolutely freaking thank you. A-Train's out till May. Rent stabilization only sucks for slumlords. Cheap bastards. Fix them apartments, stop being cheap. Just take a loss. It's a loss. You'll be all right. It's not going to die. You're still making money every month. And considering how much money you made all the years that you wasn't making no improvements, it pretty much balances itself out now, doesn't it? There's absolutely no reason you should have to take $30,000 to repair an apartment. No reason. Maybe a couple $100 to change the carpet, a paint job, change the locks. Thousands, 30,000s. That means you just let it completely fall to hell, and nobody cares after that. That's your fault. So cry a whole river, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, yeah. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That goes for Trump and Diddy. And yeah. So with that, I will try to take this time once again. Throw a couple more music videos in there. Hopefully. Is not infallible. I was never of the impression that they are perfect and they are Like, what? The computers are acting up? How is that possible? Like, some people really think that, computers don't have any fault to them. And I don't buy into that particular philosophy. So, yeah, we only got a couple more minutes. I will not be going over this week. I pretty much said all of the stuff that I wanted to say. Once again, want to shout out to everybody tuning in. As you know, the call-in number is on the screen, 347-708-0216. Take this time out, if you please, of course, to like and subscribe. And I am Lola SHAE. This is the Lola SHAE Show. We're on IAXISRADIO.com. Show airs every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. And yeah, we're a long way from syndication, but we done had a couple repeats in there. Just because, I like y'all. I wanted you to hear it again. So, but no. Thank you for the people who check those out, who check in every week. Developing a family, a the squad. So I want to shout them out. Plan on doing some nice things for you guys in the future. I love y'all. That's all. And yeah, I'm aware that there are, even if it's just to critique and tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'm aware there's a few people out there. I want to shout y'all out. Appreciate y'all watching, taking the time out, giving me your opinion and constructive criticism. It's appreciated. Terror Vocals by Jamel Jones says, love the topics. Aw, sugar. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. I love that you are consistently tuning in. And I appreciate you taking your time out and that you're engaged. That's very, very important to me. So thank you very much. Shout out to all the other platforms that the show is tuned in on. Twitch 360 Live. What is that? Facebook Live. It's a bunch of places. I'm gonna get me a little list so I can always remember. But yeah, we can shout out to my UK massive. Shout out to my Nigerian family. Shout out to my Facebook family, Instagram. People tuning in on all the platforms. So I want to say thank you once again for that. I don't know. It's I had a really nice week actually. I decided, you know, you have to take a proactive stance in your health, mental health, and physical health, right? You can't really always be responding to things that happen to you. Sometimes you have to have a certain amount of foresight and know when certain things are not good for you and not conducive to your particular situation. So if you know that being around certain people raises your blood pressure, don't go around them people. Love them from afar if you can. Okay? And if you have people in your life that recharge you and make you feel, you know, wonderful, you leave them feeling happy and pretty damn pleased with yourself. Spend more time with those people. Okay? Because it might seem insignificant, but those things are actually affecting you. And long term negative has a long term negative effect on your body and your spirit, your well being, all that good stuff. So You hopefully know yourself better than anybody else, and you know what your triggers are, what your stress thresholds are, what's too much for you. So, in a nutshell, we'll be working towards better coping mechanisms, anger management, improving our diet, and once again, getting rid of negative influences in your life. The negative thoughts breed negative actions, breed negative consequences. So that's pretty much all for today. We made it exactly at 8:30. I'm really happy about that. I sometimes go over. I haven't had any complaints though, so thank you for that. And we'll try our videos again next week. Hopefully we'll have some more videos. I actually got a couple in. I just didn't get them uploaded yet. So we'll be putting them in there, and we'll be back next week. Thank you.